What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another garden update. Everything's cruising right along. It is Friday, July 14th. Evening time now. It's about 90 degrees today back here, maybe a little higher than that. 32 degrees centigrade. I was out here doing some thinning on the beetroot. They're looking pretty good, but they're kind of getting crowded in here. I threw a bunch in here, multi-sown. And I was just pulling a bunch out, kind of giving them a little bit of room. But they're rocking and rolling. These yellow pear cherry tomatoes are starting to set some fruit. They were planted July 1st, sown mid-May. Yeah, these are all yellow pear. 6 of them, about a foot apart. And this will be our second round of tomatoes coming up. They'll be going up these T-posts on a Florida weave style. Next to them, we got these fingerling potatoes doing really good. We came through and threw some more compost, some mushroom compost on here, also around the base of the tomatoes. They're about 18 inches tall or so, but they're gonna be, it's only been 2 weeks since those been in the ground. They're doing really good. Potatoes are all starting to flower. They say when your potatoes are starting to flower, that means your tubers are starting to develop below. Yeah, only 5 fingerling potatoes there. Yeah, they're doing awesome. Can't wait to see how those do. Really pretty flower there too. Can't wait. Yeah, so all the tomatoes, 2 rows of beets, potatoes, and then here in the zucchini pile, squash pile, this is that yellow crookneck that I sown from seed. Like, look at the leaves on this thing now. It's going all the way. That's my walkway here. It goes all the way across the walkway now. Kind of had to pin some of the branches back out of the way. Didn't want to remove them, but they are kind of cutting some light out from down here. And they were getting in my way while I was trying to work on thinning those out. But yeah, yellow crookneck is doing really good. Starting to set some nice little fruit all over. You can see some back over in the back, more back there. Doing really good. This one was from seed that I sowed. This one is a crookneck, but that was from the nursery. It's putting on some fruit, but there's no way that one's nowhere near as big as this sucker here. This thing is pretty big leaf on that guy so far. So yeah, yellow squash, both doing good. This one's acorn squash, table ace variety. Yeah, it's looking really nice so far. Not sure what happened right there, a little bug maybe or something, but really pretty. One more in the back there. Looking really good. Let's go on this other side. Zucchinis, the courgettes are looking really good. Beautiful dark leaf on that. I love the leaf on that. Just gorgeous. Lots of new growth coming out. And lots of new courgettes coming out too. All over. I was doing some hand pollinating. Yeah, you see them all back in. There's a bunch of them. There'll be a bunch coming out. We've already pulled a bunch too. And then pumpkin, our jack-o'-lantern pumpkin here, comes out of the ground down there. And one vine runs down through and back around. It comes back up and around. It actually comes right to here. Here's the end of it right now. There's actually a pumpkin right there. I pulled it back around. You can see the little fruit just right there. Think about just having a pumpkin start. That one pollinates, maybe a pumpkin right in the patch there. The other vine comes down, runs along. And you can see it's still right here too, but I kind of stepped on it, actually damaged it, but nice little pumpkin wanting to be right here too. So if this little guy here pollinates, then we'll have a pumpkin right here on the ground, pumpkin up here in the bed, but the main vine goes up here and up the trellis and up the trellis again, and it's still going. Every day it's growing quite a lot. And it's really hot out here still today. Yeah, everything's looking really good on it though, real healthy. Tendrils are going crazy on it. And I've already had to pull pumpkins off. There was like a pumpkin here. There was another pumpkin, I believe it was just here. Has male flowers and little side shoots I'll be clipping off. But I'm just gonna try to get it up and over the trellis. And then once it comes down over here, this pot here is about a few inches, maybe 4 inches or so, maybe more, 5 inches of compost. And then there's some dry amendments in here. And about from here down is actually some potting soil, some pretty dark, rich potting mix. So my idea is to open this up and have have the vine go through here. I'll pin it down, bury it, and hopefully I'll get some roots going in there for the pumpkin, like a little charge pot for it. Not sure if that, excuse me, not sure if that's gonna help, but we'll find out. And a good spot for watering, so I can water here and down here. Also, the little Jack B little pumpkins are right here growing. Still slow, hope they go up the trellis as well. And all the squash and all the containers are doing really good. I'm gonna come through and probably thin these out a little bit more. Stuff starting to put out fruit, little zucchinis and stuff, and a little courgette like that. There'll be a bunch of little potted stuff. I got another little yellow pear potted up right here. Only not even a week ago. These guys are in the ground. Maybe Monday, I forgot. Sunday, Monday I did that. But yeah, nice little yellow pear, buried pretty deep. Compost soil mix as well. These are also, I put the pot up on top, these are also Jack B little pumpkins. Just like the ones that we have down here, some extras all sown from seed. But I'm hoping those are gonna run up the trellis here and have some little pumpkins up on top. But yeah, those are going crazy. I'm sweating, it's hot out here, guys and gals. Appreciate you guys following along. This right here is the tomatillo. This thing is going crazy. Go back to the first garden video there and see how much this has grown. Like, the structure is pretty wild too. I've never done tomatillos before, but like this branch comes all the way out and all the way out and comes all the way over here. That's a big old branch. And then this one over here, it's going crazy. A lot more fruit, putting on little pods all over. This one keeps the bees happy, it really does. Nice little fruit stacking up in there too. You can feel it in there. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of tomatillos on that. Between the two of them, there's gonna be loads. You need two to pollinate. It needs to be a different species. But it can't be like the same genetics as this one. They need to be different to pollinate. So we'll just cover back here real quick. There's about 4 plants in the ground. There's also some little lettuce right here, but there's about 4 Regal Pickler cucumbers that are right here. And they're doing good. I did prune them up a lot. It was full, really dense down there. I cleaned up a lot of that undergrowth. And then all the shoots are shooting up here. Looking real nice and healthy. And you can see back in here, it's like, the light kind of sucks right now, but you can see like cucumber. Another cucumber there. There's going to be just cucumbers all over. Like throughout this whole thing, they're just going to go all the way up. But my idea is that all these little top shoots are all going to come up and hopefully go across this little trellis this way, on this cage here this way. But then there's like 4, like I think there's 3 or 4, I forget. Maybe there's actually 5. But they're Kentucky Wonder pole beans. You can see some of the beans just here forming. Looking really good. They're not quite there yet. I pulled some off the very, very bottom, the very first ones. But there's going to be so many in here. Like so, you can see all the little beans starting. But as it goes up the trellis here, you can see that there's going to be just loads and loads and loads. Top of this radius on this cage is about 8 feet tall. And like they want to just keep on going, just wrapping around themselves up there. It's about 10 feet up. But yeah, pretty productive. Excuse me. And then there's just flowers all over. Flowers and beans all over. Everywhere. And this thing is wrapping around down this cage, so it's going to be cucumbers under here. The beans on the top. And they run here, and they run all the way up this trellis. And they're going all the way up this trellis here now too. So maybe some of the tops, if they fall over and come down here, I'll train them up and over. Got some little extras there. But yeah, hopefully these pumpkins go up and over the trellis. I'm gonna try to get this tomato, because this tomato has plenty of time still. It's gonna get tall. It's an indeterminate cherry yellow pear tomato. I'm gonna try to get that to run up and over the trellis as well. So I'm gonna try to get even all this, like the tomatillos are kind of going through the cage here, just so it keeps it out of the path, you know. And then coming around here on this side, I believe there's 4 Marketmore slicer style cucumbers, looking really good. I already pulled one off. It was actually amazing. It tastes so good. It was on the very bottom. I pruned a lot of the bottom growth out. It's hard to see now, but if you look in there, so you can see the straw on the bottom, and there's going to start being lots and lots of cucumbers, like every node. You don't have to have a cucumber on every node because they'll start getting kind of overcrowded, but yeah, you can see like starting pretty soon is going to be just cucumbers everywhere. So I'll have to come through and take some of these out, because once they start going, there'll be a cucumber on every node. You kind of want every other one. So yeah, that's that back here in the shade. They kind of get shaded out by these huge sunflowers that we got going in right here. But it's nice because they're tall enough to where it's like getting the light coming through to where the tomatoes are. So these right here are 2 super steak, beef steak variety. Have been having mega blooms on them. Kind of crazy flowering going on. So there's this one here, and then the other one's back over here. You can see all those blossoms starting in again. But we'll come down here underneath, try to get around these squash here. These things are huge. But yeah, you can see this one here was a mega bloom. It's kind of cat-faced and really weird looking. Kind of growing into the stem there. It's kind of, I'm just letting it do its natural thing. And then you can see one of the other beefsteaks forming up right there. It's a real nice one back here too. Real nice tomatoes though. They're just kind of coming in, and then it's hard to see, but back over there's another mega bloom tomato and some, like I think 3 other beefsteaks back in the back over there. You can kind of see them coming in pretty good there. It's Roma tomatoes. There's 2 Romas that we have. Those are coming in pretty heavy. Lots of new flowers on top. And then we have Sweet 100, Sweet 100, Sun Gold, and Sun Gold. No, Sun Sugar, I think those are actually called. Yeah, Sun, romaine, lettuce. Extra little beets down here, not doing much, but been pulling a bunch off the lettuce. This is like a leafy iceberg style lettuce. Again, talking about those sunflowers too. I had some more sunflowers over here, and they were kind of blocking a lot of the light that was trying to get down in here into these tomatoes. But the tall sunflowers are up above now, so not as much foliage down here off of them blocking light. They're up top now, and they'll be putting in some nice, they'll bring in some nice pollinators, you know. But you can see all the cherry tomatoes are all forming up. Some of the trusses too have so many blossoms on them. I guess that's why they call it Sweet 100, right? So many blossoms, looking really good. They're all filling out really good. Yeah, these are all on the Florida weave style. Back up here out of the, get my back out of the squash leaf here. You can see so many blossoms are starting. Lots of tomatoes already setting. Lots of blossoms starting. I'll have to add some sticks on here. These aren't quite tall enough. These plants will get probably about 8 foot. So I'll add some like sticks on from the shop to tie them on there with some zip ties. Have the Florida weave go up a little bit taller. And then have some more, oh here, we'll just go here. So yeah, lettuce all intersowed underneath. I actually sowed some more just here. I'm not sure if those will come up. It's been pretty warm. Eggplants are rocking. We got 3 eggplants here. Putting on a bunch of flowers and fruit and stuff. Look at that big mamma jamma already. Setting a nice fruit already. There's another one back there starting to, but look at that. These are all the Black Beauty variety. But yeah, it should be setting some nice fruits there. They're getting pretty good size. But again, like, some of these, I'm going to cut some of the foliage out on some of these sunflowers here. It's kind of blocking a little bit of light, but they kind of been doing okay in the partial shade there. The sun comes in pretty much from this way. So you can see like some of the leaves here and here and here would block some of the foliage, but I did clean out some of them. And this sunflower here is getting big. They're going to start putting on nice little flowers soon. But I can't wait. This one's kind of the one, there's so many critters on it. This is what I'm excited about. It's probably going to be a cool color. Kind of darker. You can see it's a multi-head. You can see all these different heads coming out of the sunflower. So this one's actually going to be a little shorter compared to the other ones. But I think this one here is going to be a pretty one. Just below it's our peppers. Doing really good. I've been pulling any early fruit I see or any early blossoms I see, I've been pulling them. But now it's like mid-July, so they're going to go ahead and rock now. They've been just kind of lying dormant. You can see even on the... So these are bells, and this one's also a bell. Greens, red, orange, right? Yeah, green, red, orange. But should all be like green looking. This one's a multicolor red, yellow, or sorry, like a green, yellow bell. But we have 5 total bells. You can see even on the bells are going to start putting lots of blossoms. I've been pulling so many blossoms off of these. This one's a bit short here still, but I got them all about to the top of the cage because they're going to bush up and then the fruit will get supported by the cage. Hopefully that's the idea. But you can see even on these bells they're wanting to put on lots of fruit, lots of fruit. They're going to have so many flowers coming out. Like every little top of every little branch has flowers. And these two back here are actually jalapeno. But again, you can see every spot that there could be a flower is going to be a flower on every branch. Every spot. There's going to be flowers all over. And some of them are already coming out, but there's going to be blossoms for days on these. And then this one's a cayenne here. I bet this one ends up being like a 500 pepper plant. I've done some cayennes in the past and they've always done really well for me. But you can see that's like, you know, a dozen blossoms just there. But as I pan across this plant, you can just see so many blossoms in there. It's gonna be lit. I think there's actually already a pepper in here. Yeah, like there's already a cayenne pepper starting even. That was like one day, and there's already a pepper popping out. But it's gonna be so many peppers on that. So yeah, that's mostly that there. And then one part of the garden I haven't really shown you guys. Not really too much to look at. It's actually like a little herb patch I did. A little corner of the house that gets shade half the day. In the morning it's lots of light over here, so I'm just kind of trying to get something in this ground here. I threw a little extra stuff early on, some amendments and different whatnots. But pretty much the idea is to get something planted in here, get the microbial life going, and you know, getting the life in the soil again. But it's a nice little herb patch we got here. Yeah, that one there is. I should just know what that one is. Oh yeah, that's sage. This one's coming up pretty fast here. Sage is looking really good. This one's spearmint. Getting nice and fluffy. Looking really good. Smells good. Tastes good. Then we got a little bit of English lavender here. It's looking pretty good. And then barbecue rosemary. Doing okay. Then we got some oregano. That one's kind of bushing up nice. I kind of like the way that one's growing. And then back here we actually have some bush beans. I just threw some little extra potting mix back there. Kind of tilled it in just a bit. And just sprinkled some bush variety beans back here in the back. Never grown those, so here we go. I also sprinkled in some like onions, like some bunching onions throughout here. And some little spinach. I believe that's a spinach right there. There's a couple other ones around too. They might come up, they might not. I just kind of threw them out there random. That's my little herb patch. But that's the update. There's some other stuff floating around the yard that I'll probably show you in a different video. But you know, later on we'll do different breakdowns on different specific parts of the garden and soil and what I do, what I don't do. But yeah, I'm a full-time dad, full-time working. It's only 2 garden beds here, plus a little extra and a little extra. But trying to cram it in tight. Go big or go home. I've done very little. Didn't water too much. Just show it some love. Alright, well thanks for watching, everybody. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you'll give it a thumbs up. And subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you have already, you're awesome. Thanks a lot, everybody. Peace out.